phenomenal day to you. This is your homeless CEO, Miss Kenita Patterson, storyteller of poverty and homelessness. I am here today with you to have one of our taboo conversations. Been feeling very deeply. It's in my belly at the very top, and it just sits there, and it's like a travail until I actually say what I need to say for God. And if I disobey, it just sits there in my stomach, and I don't want to sit there and hold that, right? Been feeling that heaviness, not only in a level of dealing with grief right now and still having to go forth, then add in a layer of dealing with humans on a day-to-day basis, right? To me, all I see in this world across so many people is selfishness. I see so many people that look like me and care like me that are being, and I don't want to say the word tormented, but it's along those lines. But think of it as, it's not flesh and blood that we fight against. It's those principalities that notice you when you come forth, right? And it just becomes contradictory what comes out of their mouths. Not that you are worried about that part. It's just the fact of going through multiple things at the same time from multiple people, and they have no clue. They're getting such joy out of coming for you, right? In whatever manner or capacity that it is, whatever way that they judge, whatever way that they gossip, whatever the way that they do not hold space for your safety at all, right? Especially, I've been talking about this as a black female founder in Nashville, Tennessee. I feel so very open and unprotected at times from people surrounding me. And it is that I saw a video earlier that was talking about this, how they look at you a certain kind of way and be so upset by what you speak on. I speak nothing but pure truth. That's all I speak. And for that to be harmful to anyone, for my intent to impact anyone negatively at all, there is something within you that received that incorrectly. That's why I say always the homeless CEO is very misunderstood, because you cannot lean to your own understanding when, trying to deal with humans at all across the board, I think. But for me, it goes into, I was talking about a SWOT analysis here recently, and one of my biggest threats is learning disability, because I could be intelligent all day long, but the way that I speak and output, right, and input, take in information, right, is so intricate and different from anybody else. So I oftentimes sound foreign to people. I oftentimes am not understood. Oftentimes mistaken for a angry black woman, when all it is simply a human wants to be heard like a fellow human. Just like I give, I extend, I give grace, I give compassion. I turn all negative into positive. I give people a chance over and over and over and over and over and over and over at the cost of hurting myself. And I am called to stand in the gap for people, so I overstand the assignment. However, that does not mean or negate the fact that it hurts so bad. Like a daily crucifixion is what it feels like. And just, I can feel it now at my back sitting. So very stressful. And again, not even just that by itself, dealing with life, period, in and out, and then different entities coming for you and different humans coming for you in masses, surrounding and trying to take you down and out any kind of way that they can. And then you finally think that you come upon safety, and it is not that. It is always a facade. It is always a performative thing. Why even waste your time performing? Because you're really not there for people. If in your heart you have malice for any person, you are not there for the people that you claim to serve. If at any point me speaking my truth causes malice in your heart, it's something you doing wrong that makes you feel like I've said or done anything wrong. Because I come in nothing but, again, pure truth. I don't come to harm anyone. I don't speak on nothing but housing disparities and those things that intersect and surround that. So it's so many things that bounce off of the loss of a home or the imminent emergent possibility of a loss of a home, chronic homelessness, all that. And that's what I speak on, what is closest and nearest and dearest to my heart. I had a lady one time, and I'm going to hop off of here after this because I want to drive home my point of why I'm even saying this. And it's multiple people across the board. It ain't even about that, because guess what? At the end of the day, ABBA is the one I have to please, right? Period. 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 For real, period. Could care less about any other humans, but he does not want us to forsake our brethren either. I just don't. I feel some type of way, and it wrenches my heart when I get around some people and I feel like a magnet. And a lot of times that thing is a negative force, and it is pushing me away from you in the spirit. And it's like, okay, once you finally really, once it's really revealed who I really am, and your eyeballs are uncovered, your eyes are no longer wide shut. Once you finally realize, it's going to be too late for that relationship between us. Because I begged and pleaded and asked for help to people that were so happy to give a deaf ear. That were so happy to see me struggle. So happy to bring their misery as a company. And I don't want no company. Mama said I can't have no company right now, right? That's how I'm looking at that. No, I don't want that company. If it's nasty and negative, I don't like that in my space. I don't give that out. I don't come for people unless and I have to. And it's serious if I have to. Why? Why? And that's just, to me, honestly, the first thing I heard earlier today about exactly what I'm talking about. When you provide a safe space, it's like HIPAA. You do not take anything that was said outside of that thing. Because I had something that I wanted to comment on so bad, but it was inside of a safe space. So I could not say in confidentiality. Just keeping that person's, what they said, confidential. And or the whole group of people. But just one thing stuck out to me so much, and I wanted to recap on that, but it is not mine to recap, right? Come on, people. And you claim to be a thing of the kingdom of God. Really? Let's be for real, people of God. It's so sad. And Yeah. And then a lot of times too, people don't let people be. Just let people be who they are. It ain't hurting or bothering you. Why is it any of your concern? Their soul salvation, once you plant that seed, the blood is no longer on your hands unless you didn't do what you were told to do. And obedience is better than sacrifice. Well, but humans, I just can't relate. And that's the thing, I know I can't expect me from nobody, but I just cannot relate to the way humans do each other. It just is so sickening to me, and it hurts my stomach so bad. It churns my stomach that humans treat each other the way that they do. And it's always somebody trying to figure out what. It's just a mass paranoia. What has a person done to you now? It's always someone doing something to you, or we having adults having children like tantrums. These things are all principalities. I know we wrestle not against flesh and blood. I know that. I know a lot. Not saying I know everything. Negative ghost right on that. Right? Never will I claim that. I'm an ever learner. And that's the thing. Quit assuming. Quit assuming. And I love to learn across every facet, let me say, and with discernment, with great discernment, and prayer and studying. You never know what a person is doing behind the scenes. No matter, I'm a person that can really, really, really multitask. Don't ever assume what I'm doing at any given point of time. Why? For what? Why is it any of your concern anyway? So yeah, just I had to come and say that it is just amazeballs to me how humans show up and are so uncompassionate for each other and will come to attack you, and because they're benefiting behind the scenes, you can kick rocks and get it how you live. And that's how our community treats us, and that's how it was intended to be, and that's by design. Y'all fall right into that trap and treating each other like crap on a day-to-day basis, and that's everywhere. I sit there in a situation and watch how a couple of situations, this is across multiple people, how you see this one person or people, right? But you just pretend. And I seen this video because I've been contemplating on this and praying on this for a minute, of how I'm in these spaces and how they pretend so much not to see you, pretend to ignore you. And for me, that causes me to not shrink, but pull back and away and give a long handle spoon to that. I don't want to be around it. I don't deserve that at all. I don't. Don't accept it. Don't give it permission. Don't deserve it. I deserve God's best. I deserve to be included where I am accepted. To be included. Should not have to beg over and over for resources. I should not have to beg to become a resource to you at all. You should know and see who and what I am, and it's okay and whatever from there. But if I'm asking you, please know it took a lot for me to ask anything to anyone, because I hate bothering people. I don't want to be a burden to anyone. And that is something I can tell you, a group of sisters can tell you that about forced me to take some stuff, because it was like I did not feel like they owed me anything. And I feel like that with a lot of people. You don't owe me nothing. I don't expect from not one human. I don't expect. Don't ask for nothing. Don't much or nothing. I don't ask for. But if I do ask and You come at me a certain kind of way and sideways, you could write that off ever of me coming back around to even try it. And then the way that you pushed me away didn't even add up or make sense. It just was so much better feeling to you to tear a person down or to not be transparent. Now we're going to talk about it. Taboo Conversations. I'll holler at y'all. I had to get that out of my whole spirit, mind, body, spirit, and soul. For real. Going through a lot right now. And actually, it just gets really hard to even breathe or catch your breath. So many anxiety attacks. And I know that is not of God. And I know it is mental health. And I know it is recurrent. I stack that on top of a recurring PTSD from multiple trauma from dealing with the housing sector that is imploding upon itself. And it is so selfish. It is so nasty. It is so self-centered. And it is only so closed-minded. And it won't. That's what I was trying to say earlier. I apologize. I lost my thought. I'm going to come back to it because it's very important to say. There was a person that got a job. And mind you, I've been applying around Metro Nashville government. I've been applying around many jobs across the city. Finally, one did see me and accept me for something that does align with what I'm doing, thankfully. I wasn't in the market to just accept anything. God has been supplying and taking care of our every need. And I've been trusting in that since he put me on this journey to pivot, right? And so what I was going to say, that person got the job, that 80K job, whatever the big salary is, right? And guess what they told me and reached out specifically to me. This was a housing sector job, probably something I had applied for. And the person that got the position reached out to me and asked could they pick my brain for free. How demeaning and demoralizing is that? And disrespectful. It's all those D's, right? No, ma'am and sirs, whoever it was, right? No, you don't get to do that. You do not get to do that. And you do not get to pretend like I'm not there. And then finally, when you choose to see me, or choose to include me, or one that I see kind of happening in the spirit right now, I could come through this other person, but not as myself and not as my own organization. You can't acknowledge that. And last thing, because I said I wasn't going to be on here long, but last thing, people can be inside of the realm of leadership development. I think of that as like, okay, it's one of those, the student and the test situations. Yeah, instructor, if you present, okay. But at the same time, if you're building leaders, let them lead in the way that they can, in the way that they have capacity. That's how they're going to grow. It's each one teach one. And with me, for each one teach one, it's going to be when you teach a family to fish, they're never going to hunger again. They're not. So, I tell you what, just had to come and say that. My belly is empty now, and I could stop speaking, but I do this for real. I don't be playing about whatever I come and speak about or talk about. Every single piece of it is what God ordained me to speak about, and I had to go through it in order to get here. Long time, way back 2011, been over 5 years. I just ain't making that 6 or 7 figures yet because I'm in the deep south and they make sure to prevent that. But okay, to each his own. You can't understand it unless you've been through. That's why I tell the stories of poverty and homelessness, because it's a special kind that can understand what I'm talking about. Because they been there. That's the real poverty simulation. Peace out. Nashville is the palette for me.